All right, we're live.
Okay, awesome. Hey, it's Mia Davies here. I'm here with the awesome Ryan, and I actually asked if you would do this kind of training for me today, and for anybody watching, to show someone like me who's never done a Google Hangout before how to do a Google Hangout. And Ryan is an expert at this. He does a lot of these. And by the way, what Ryan does in the world is he specializes in reputation management, so he empowers small to medium-sized companies to make sure they look awesome on the internet, so that anyone that goes and Googles them or looks them up sees only good, amazing stuff about them. So Ryan's doing amazing stuff out there, but one of the coolest things about you, Ryan, is that when I met you at a live event, I don't know how many months ago, one of the things that you were the most excited about was Google Hangouts. And it was something I wasn't doing, and I've been seeing a lot of people start to do it. But I even since that conversation with you months ago, I still haven't done it. So I decided today, I'm sitting you down in front of the computer with me, and you're going to walk me through how to do a Google Hangout, and that way everyone can learn along with me today. So I want to thank you so much for doing this today.
Yeah, absolutely, Mia. And yeah, that was what I was excited about 6 months ago, and I still am. But I want to start off by saying I apologize for I'm a little bit dark here right now because my light is not working today. So I'm kind of having to improvise with some natural lighting from the window, but it's not quite enough to make me really bright today. But I did, yeah, I'm excited about Google Hangouts. They work really well for business. The reason why they're so powerful is it does give every single business owner out there in the world the ability to have their own TV station. You can broadcast live. You can record the videos that you're creating. It gives you the opportunity to become the authority in your marketplace, and it also gives you the opportunity to create content quickly and to get your phone ringing, because when you do become the authority in your marketplace, that translates into getting more customers, because when people see you as the authority, they go to you for advice on your particular niche. And that's what I do for my business, and that's what I consult with other businesses on how to do that.
Absolutely, and one of the biggest things I teach people how to do is using webinars to be able to connect with their audience, offer value, and promote their products and services. So what I see a lot of people doing is now switching from webinars into Google Hangouts, which I totally understand why, because it really allows people to feel connected. But there's just some things I don't understand. Like, for example, we're on this right now. You're showing on the screen. And for example, how do we get it to, just little things, like how do I get it to switch over? When I'm talking, it shows me on the screen. When you're talking, it shows you on the screen. Little things like that. I have no idea what I'm doing. So if you could just kind of walk us through. First of all, I'm gonna ask questions as someone who doesn't know how to do this, so you can answer them. Because one of the first things I had to overcome was, okay, I have two ways to do this, which you just taught me before we got on here. You can do on air or you can do off air. And if you do on-air Google Hangouts like we're doing now, it will save over to your YouTube channel, and it will stream live and save over there, so you can rank that video, you can get exposure to that video for years to come, which right now we're sending this over to your YouTube channel at the moment. So you can do it on-air, which is super smart. You can invite people to come check it out. But the other way you can do it is off-air. Now, when we do it off-air, it does not record your session. It's just kind of like a meeting, right? You can just do a meeting with someone anytime, or 5 people, whatever, but it's not going to record it if you're off air. So you could use something like what I'm using right now, which is ScreenFlow, to record my screen. So for example, one of the things that I'm going to be using Google Hangouts for is interviews. So if I'm doing an interview, I'm going to have to record using ScreenFlow if I'm doing an off-air interview. So I just want to make that first distinguishment of on-air versus off-air, right? And then the next piece, now that we're on it, now that we're on here, and you helped me make that happen, thank you. We went through the steps of doing that. Now we're on this live webinar, or the live hangout, and the next thing that I want you to just walk through is, what are some of the first things people need to know when they come on here? And I also want you to be able to answer that question of if it's just 2 people versus if I had 5. And I want whoever's talking to show up on the screen, and I don't know how to do that.
Okay, if you have, for example, right now, if I have 2 people versus 5, if I just wanted one person to show up on the screen at a time, then what I would do is I would just click on that person's box below, and then that person will show up, even though even though I'm talking, now you're showing up on the screen permanently, okay? Because I've clicked on, and I'm going to show you my screen here real quick.
But I'm still seeing you.
Well, hold on, but here, let me see. I'll show you. So, can you see my screen?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So now what I'm doing is okay. What'll happen? You can have, by the way, up to nine people in the Hangout at one time, where you can actually see them and they can see you. Now, if I wanted, let's say I had, well, it's just you and me, but so I'm showing my screen right now, and if I click on my box showing my screen, then that's what's gonna show up on my main panel here. Now, if I click on you, it's gonna show you, and because I'm actually recording this is what's actually gonna be recorded. If I click off of, and by the way, you can see that there's this little blue box around your picture down here. Yeah. That means that you are highlighted and you're the only one that's showing up, even when I'm talking. It's defaulted to show the person as they're talking, but if you click on that person, it will actually show them up, show them on the main screen here, even though I'm talking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, but how come a minute ago when I was talking, it was showing you?
It was showing because I had actually clicked on myself to show up and not you.
Okay.
Okay, so like right now, the little blue box is around me because I clicked on it, and now it's showing me, which is I'm showing my screen, and so that's why it's showing that up on my main panel here. Does that make sense?
Okay, cool. Yeah, and just going back really quick, if I was going to interview one person versus I wanted a panel of like 5 people on here, the invite process for that, can I just go ahead and make sure? I know you told me one that I need to circle them and they need to circle me back. But when I'm inviting multiple people to a Hangout, not just to view it, but to participate in it, then how do I send them that interview, or how do I get them in?
Well, the best thing to do is to set up an event, and then send them the link. And then ultimately, what you'd want to do is have them go to your Google Plus page, or you can have them go to your Google Plus page, and they can actually see that you have a Hangout happening right then. They can click on Join Hangout, and then they will join the Hangout. Now, the other thing is that if you just want them to view the actual video and not actually be in the Hangout, now, as I told you earlier, with the advent of the new YouTube One channel, you can actually have people, you can actually send people to a link ahead of time that is a link for their YouTube channel. So, for example, let me show you my screen again here. And before I do, I'm going to go to that YouTube channel. Oh, you know what?
Yeah, and just to be clear, if people are confused, there's 2 things. You may want people on your panel, so like how Ryan and I are both on here, you may want up to 9 people on here, right? A total of 10, right, with you?
Yes.
So up to 10 total people that are actually, you're interviewing them, you're talking to them, maybe they're
Hangout happening right then, they can click on Join Hangout. Hold on. And okay, so go ahead. Sorry,
you may want up to 9 people right there in your panel, versus you may want the public to be able to come in and watch. And if you want the public to watch your live stream, you can send them over to your YouTube channel /live at the appropriate time, if it's 4 o'clock, whatever, and they can watch it live if they want to, like you were saying.
Exactly. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what you just said here, because I'm going to show you my YouTube channel, and I'll show you what that actual link is. So I'm showing my screen again. Let me know. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Okay.
So now what I've done is I've gone to this. Okay, you see this is the actual link that you would send somebody to. It's http://www.youtube.com/user/ your actual channel name /live. So that's the link that you would send to somebody ahead of time in order for them to be able to watch that live broadcast at some future date. Okay?
Okay.
Now, right now, you can actually, like, I'm actually in my YouTube channel. So what I'm doing is I'm actually
your YouTube channel right now, though.
Yeah. So I'm in my YouTube channel right now. So I've actually entered this. I've gone to this link.
Okay.
And so what's happening is right now, this is what it looks like on my YouTube One channel. So this is what's actually streaming on my YouTube One channel. This is actually, if I press play, it would be about 2 seconds delayed, but it would be a live version of what we're doing right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so people can watch us live if we're doing an on-air one. Yep. But just real quick, because okay, if we were bringing on 5 other people to talk with us today, if we sent them over to your Google Plus profile, they could jump on and be invited. They could, as long as we invited them, they could join our Hangout. Join as in become a panelist on here.
Yes, they can join and become a panelist on here by going to the going to my Google Plus personal profile page, or what you can do is you can set up what's called an event in Google, and then you can set up an event and make it an on-air Hangout meeting, and at that time it will invite that person to that Hangout at that given time, and they can then choose to join the Hangout or not join the Hangout at that time.
Okay, and so if you're doing a public Hangout or an on-air Hangout, the public can't just jump in, can they? They have to be invited.
No, they can. If they can see the stream. There's a couple ways that people can discover a Hangout. They can actually go and discover a Hangout by going into their Google Plus personal profile page and then scrolling down to where it says Hangouts on Air. And if you're doing a Hangout on Air, all Hangouts on Air will come across as on that stream under Hangouts on Air. And yours will just be one of those, and they can click on that, and they can just join that Hangout as a public person.
So if they join it as a public person, they wouldn't show up like you and I are showing up, though, right? Like I wouldn't see their screen down here.
No, they can, yes. They can actually join that way, yes.
Like right now, someone could just jump on and start talking, and we're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, they can. You can choose to not allow them or yeah, you can actually choose, yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. So once we have so that invite system, I don't know that it's crystal clear. I'm still gonna have to figure that part out. But once you have everyone on here, let's say we have our 9 panelists, or it's 2, like today we have 2. Then there's some cool stuff we can do inside of here, and I guess if you just want to show us how we show our screen, maybe I think you were talking about a Google Hangout or the Hangout toolbox, maybe a couple things that we should know about to run an effective, engaging Hangout.
Okay, so one of the things is, and you're gonna have to forgive this, it looks like like a million different screens right here, but if you just pay attention to the outside of what I'm showing you right here, you can see that I'm hovering over this one little app here. It's called Screen Share. So that's what you're going to use if you want to show your screen. So you just click on that, and here, let me just show you. So you click on that, and then it'll ask you, what screen do you want to share, and then you just got to identify the screen you want to share, and then share the screen, and voila, you're sharing your screen with everybody that's on the Hangout. Okay. The other thing is that you can capture a frame of what's actually going on in the Hangout. When you do that, that actually becomes the actual picture frame for the Hangout that shows up in Hangouts on Air, and it shows up in other words, it's the thumbnail picture that is actually picked up for this Hangout. So you can customize that. Like right now, if I click capture, that picture, you see this picture right here? This picture right here is going to be the actual picture that's going to be the thumbnail for this Hangout when it's showing up in my stream.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so that's that. And then the other thing is, and I just went through this with you a little bit ago, is a really quick and easy way to add a bottom third is to use this Hangout toolbox. And the way you find that app is you go here, because it's not initially in here as one of the like default apps. So you just got to go in to where it says View More Apps. You go over here to Add Apps, and then you go here to where it says Hangout Toolbox. Click on Install Hangout Extension, and then that will add that app to your available apps here as it's showing up here in mine. Then what you do is you click on it. It'll ask to be installed, and then once it is installed, you just click on it, and then it'll show up here on the right-hand side. To modify it so that we show up like you've got here where it says Mia Davies, you can see all you got to do is you put in your name, whatever you can put whatever you want in here on these two lines. I prefer to put my name and then my business on the bottom one, and then you can actually even select the color that you want it to show up as. So if you like, pink or whatever color you want. I mean, I'll choose more of a guy color, so I'll make it blue, and then and then basically you just click on, and then you can see if I stop screen sharing, and you see me, voila. You see I've got my bottom third there. So that's how you do that. Now the other one that's a little bit more useful and maybe a little bit more advanced. I don't know. It's not that much harder to install, but it's something it's another app that you only know about by going or know about from if you follow David Sprague. He's actually the guy that developed this. I work with him a lot, and he's been working on this for a long time. It's great. You can go here to on-air meetings. Here, let me go. I'll give you the .com/app. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go there one more time. So let me just. So it's onair.com/app, and then when you press enter, it'll take you to this page right here, and then you just click on Start a Hangout, and it'll install that app. Once it's installed, you've got to actually get out of the actual Hangout. You got to click out of it, and that app will be installed the next time you start a Hangout. So it's a little bit more involved in terms of like actually installing that app. But once you do, it's very powerful because then you can do things like this. So here's what the actual app looks like on the left-hand side of your Hangout display here. You can see where it says On-Air Meetings.
Yeah.
So if I click that, then this actual right-hand side information shows up here, and you can see that it says you can choose the type of template you want to use. You can use like CNN Live. It just gives you some more options. It makes these bottom thirds look like a CNN interview. I mean, it looks really powerful and just really useful because you can not only do lower thirds like this one. And I'll show you here's an example of one of those lower thirds. I had it showing up in the beginning. So like that's I got to turn off the other one. I got two of them. I didn't know you could even do that. All right. So so there's the lower third there that is being generated by on-air meetings, and you can see it just looks much more CNN style. And then the other one is you can do a template, and the templates I use are overlays. I'm sorry, you can do an overlay. So you can use their templates, or you can create a custom one. But the great thing is that these are really powerful because what happens is when you're actually interviewing somebody, and let's say you're interviewing a business client about one specific topic, and then you change your topic. Well, what you can do instead of doing any like post-interview editing, what you can do is you can in essence, you can edit on the fly by actually just having all these preset topics at the bottom, and then when you're talking about a certain topic, like let's say I'm just talking about something different, like how to get on a Hangout, I could change the bottom third based on what I'm talking about at that moment, and then I don't have to go back and do any post-editing. I can edit on the fly, and I can have, then all I got to do is just go into YouTube, the YouTube video editor, and just chop up this Hangout video based on where I change my bottom thirds, and I can create multiple then individual YouTube videos from one long video. And that's really the power of this is what I do is I interview my clients, and I get them to give me maybe a 20-minute interview, and we end up creating enough content for their blog or whatever in one 20-minute session for the next 5, 6, 7, 10 months, because we'll end up splicing that 10 or 20-minute video into 10 2-minute videos, and then we'll write a blog post about it, and we'll get that blog post ranked and also that video ranked, and it generates a lot of traffic for their business.
Okay, that's amazing right there. That's a whole nother use of Google Hangouts that I don't see people doing, because people are doing a lot of like replacing webinars with Google Hangouts, but very few people are doing what you just said. Now my question for you though is, let's say you wanted to go ahead and splice up this video that we're doing right now, this interview.
Yep.
How can you do that in the YouTube video editor? You can separate a video into multiple videos?
Yeah,
I
you can
didn't know
actually. Yeah, you can, and that's one of the really kind of the secrets is that you can actually take or use YouTube Video Editor, and it's very powerful because you're editing right in YouTube, and it's really easy to use.
And I've used it, but I didn't know you could slice a video and separate it into multiple videos. I'm gonna have to play around with that because I've never tried that. I mean, I know you can clip the beginning and the end off of something, right? But if you took this video and you cut it into a segment, then that would become your video, right?
Yeah, but you can actually cut it. You can cut the beginning and the end off. So you would determine where the end of that video is and the beginning is, and you just basically you make that one new video. And the other thing that we're doing is and you can even do this in the video editor, is you can, in the beginning of my conversations with people or my interviews, is I'll create the bumper video. So I'll make sure that I ask the questions that I want, or I'll create a question that pertains, or I'll create an introduction that pertains to all the videos, and I'll use that as my beginning bumper video, or my beginning, my bumper for all the videos, and then I'll create an exit that I use for all the other videos also.
That's
so I just basically,
awesome.
yeah.
But I'm gonna have to do another call with you and have you take us into the video editor and show us how you splice up videos, because if you were to splice this one into 10 videos, I know how to use that editor, but when you save it, basically that becomes a new video. Then would you go back to this original video and then cut a new part and then save that as a new video and then go back to this video and cut it again and make that a new video? Is that all you're doing?
Yeah, in essence, that's what you're doing. You're just taking that original video, and then you're just going in there and you're just cutting it up into 10 different videos.
And then it lets you make a new title and everything for it.
Yeah, and exactly that's
awesome.
the key, is you can make a new title for it, and then you can. That's the big advantage, right? Is that you can then rank those 10 videos for 10 different keywords and not just one keyword.
It's amazing. I love it. Hey, is there any way to show both of us on the screen at one time, like a split screen?
There's not. There's not as of yet. That's the thing. That's why Google chose to go with this like back and forth technology. Okay. I like it better because then it's more like an interview. And then you can see both of us in full screen.
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying. Yeah, that is something that.
No, I think it is better too, because when you're not talking, you don't want to sit there with like this blank look on your face. It's better that it flips from you to me. I like that. Yeah. Well, we're going to wrap this up, and I know there's a lot more you could cover with us, but when it comes to actually ending your Hangout and then making sure that it saves properly and giving it a correct title and all of that, is that something you do at the end now, or did you already title it back in the beginning?
No, I titled it in the beginning. It asks you what you want to name the Hangout, what the title of the Hangout is, and then I can also go in there afterwards and add a description and obviously the tags. But in the beginning, you do have to name the Hangout on air before you actually have it.
But like any YouTube video, you can go back and even edit your title later anyways, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, so after this...
one thing I do want to mention is the fastest way to invite somebody, I know that people are going to ask this question.
Yeah.
The fastest way to invite somebody to a Hangout on air or a Hangout in general is that you've got to go into your Gmail account or your Google account. Go into your Google account, specifically go into your Gmail account, go to the top of your Gmail account there. There's going to be a little box, like a little search box.
Can you show us?
Yeah, I can. I just didn't want to, I was trying not to show my, here, hold on.
Your email?
Yeah, but here.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I think because then it'd be better not to. I think because I don't want like everybody. I don't know. Not that I have anything to hide. I just don't. I don't know. I don't want my clients to be exposed on my
No,
show.
good point. I totally get that.
But the thing is there. Okay, go to your Gmail account. Go to the top there. There's a little box, a search box, and right next to it, there's a little magnifying glass in a blue box. Put the person's name, or better yet, email that's associated with their Google account in there. Press enter in that box. Press enter or press the search bar, the little magnifying glass, and that will find that person in Google, or it'll identify that person. Below that, you'll see once it's identified the person, it'll allow you to add them or circle them. Once you circle them, they will be notified that you've circled them, and then they'll be able to circle you back. My suggestion is
you
that
have to circle them, and they have to circle you back.
yes. That's the way that you can very quickly and easily chat with them. You can do Hangouts with them. Anything that that you want to do in terms of communicating with them using Google's Google Hangouts. The other thing I'd recommend is that people download the new app on their smartphone. There's a new app, a Hangout app. Makes communication very, very easy. It's kind of like Skype on steroids on your smartphone. It's very user friendly. You can also do actually do live Hangouts on air if you have an Android phone. You can't. They have not enabled you to be able to broadcast live from a smartphone, from an iPhone smartphone, but you can from an Android phone, from my knowledge. So
interesting.
Yeah. So the neat thing is that you can actually go live and literally like have your own little mobile, like mobile studio. Like you can literally take your smartphone on location outside of your office without obviously using all this bulky computer gear that we're using. And you can really kind of get creative with it, so it's kind of fun.
That is awesome. Okay, so when you go to save this, is there anything we need to know about saving it? Is it super easy? Does it just head right over to? It automatically saves over to YouTube?
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. Is when I click on End Broadcast here, it's going to save right to my YouTube channel, and I can then go in there. I can within seconds. Actually, a lot of time it's live immediately. I have a live link, and actually, if you can see my screen here, really neat thing about this is that you can go here to see where I'm clicking on this little embed link.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can literally, this is what's so powerful about this. I can send somebody to this URL, and they're going to go right to my YouTube channel. So that's a live URL right to this video. But the other thing is I can actually take this iframe, this HTML code, and I can have, if I have another affiliate, or if I have somebody else that wants to broadcast this live show on their web page, on their homepage, they could just drop this iframe in on their homepage, and they could be broadcasting the same exact broadcast on their homepage of their website. So you can syndicate your content too to other people's websites.
Well, wait a minute. So I could actually take that HTML right there, and I could put it onto a blog post, and then I could email my list and say, "Hey, we're meeting live." And when they go to my blog post, they're going to be watching the live Hangout, right?
Yep, right from your website.
And then once the live Hangout is done, what will they see on that embed code? Will they see the recording?
That's a good question. I have yet to see. I believe because you're going to have the HTML there that iframe, it's still going to show the video there, and it's going to have the recording of it once it's done going live. Yes.
Okay, and then that link right next to it, I could email post that on Facebook, and I could be like, "Hey guys, we're hanging out right now. Come join us," and that would be the link they click on to just check in right then live.
Yeah, you could. So in other words, you could send the link that I was telling you before to send people right to your channel, or you can send them directly to the video itself by just sending them the link that's at the top there. Yes. So
they'll be watching that video live. Or once it's done, it'll just be the recording. So that link never goes outdated, right? Exactly.
Okay. So that's the advantage of having that link versus sending somebody to your channel, because once the live meeting is no longer live, then your channel will go back to what it was normally.
Okay, cool. So that's really the link to go share with people if you want people on live.
Yeah.
Or watching the recording.
Yeah, exactly. Because that YouTube channel, that YouTube link will be there forever for that video. So if you put that on Facebook or whatever, that's the link I would put on Facebook, because even after the actual live show is done, people will be able to view the replay of it by just clicking on the play button.
Yeah, and also that embed code, I'm almost positive that once the live event is over, that embed code will turn into the recorded one where they push play, because I've seen it before where I go to websites and I miss the live thing, but then I just push play.
Yeah, so it's really powerful. I mean, if you have other affiliates that want to help market your product or service, then you could give them that iframe, and they can drop it in there, and there you go.
Yeah.
You've got,
That's
yep.
awesome. There's so many things we can do with this. I love it. Thank
Yep.
you so much for taking the time to do this, Ryan. You're awesome. And then if you want to share the link with me from this one, and then I'm recording this on my screen too to share it with my people. And then I'll get you on another time too so we can go in more depth.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I know you have to run and I have to go. And
yeah.
this helps.
Awesome.
I'm starting to feel confident to do Google Hangouts.
All right. Well, no, we'll do it again, and I appreciate you giving me a chance to just show this. I mean, I love it. I mean, it's I know that this is going to be something that replaces a lot of things, and it just gives the average person or the average business owner the ability to get out there and get out in the marketplace. I mean, and really create content and really engage with their market. So I'm excited about it.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. You're the best.
All right. Thanks.